In the quiet, book-lined study of Dr. Jonathan Reed, a respected historian at a prestigious university, the soft glow of a desk lamp illuminated the dust motes dancing in the air. The room was a sanctuary for those who loved the past, filled with ancient texts, maps, and artifacts from bygone eras. Across the polished mahogany desk sat Sarah Bennett, one of Dr. Reed's most promising graduate students. They were deep in conversation, discussing the challenges and responsibilities that come with interpreting and presenting history to the world.
Sarah, the study of history is as much about understanding the present as it is about the past. Every narrative we choose to highlight, every detail we decide to emphasize, shapes how people view their world. In your experience so far, what do you think is the greatest responsibility we hold as historians?
That's a profound question, Dr. Reed. I've been grappling with this a lot lately. But from your years of study, what would you say is the most important aspect of our role as historians?
I would say it's our duty to strive for objectivity as much as humanly possible. We must resist the temptation to let our personal biases color our interpretation of historical events. Question: Sarah, what do you believe is the greatest responsibility we hold as historians? A. Striving for objectivity in our interpretations. B. Ensuring that all voices, especially marginalized ones, are heard. C. Presenting history in a way that resonates with the public.
Answer: A. Striving for objectivity in our interpretations.
Sarah, objectivity, option A, is crucial because our interpretations have the power to influence how future generations understand their history. If we allow our biases to seep into our work, we risk distorting the truth and misguiding those who come after us.
That's true, Dr. Reed. Objectivity is what gives our work credibility. But it's also challenging because complete objectivity is nearly impossible. We're all shaped by our own experiences and perspectives.
Exactly, Sarah. That's why we must constantly check ourselves and be aware of the potential biases we bring to our research. It's a lifelong practice, not something that can be perfected.
As their conversation continued, Dr. Reed and Sarah discussed the difficulties of maintaining objectivity in their work. They shared stories of times when they had to confront their own biases and adjust their interpretations to align more closely with the evidence.
Dr. Reed, while objectivity is vital, I also think there's a responsibility we have to ensure that the voices of those who were historically marginalized are not overlooked. How do you approach this in your work? Question: Dr. Reed, how do you approach the responsibility of ensuring that marginalized voices are represented in historical narratives? A. By actively seeking out primary sources from these groups. B. By interpreting historical events from multiple perspectives. C. By collaborating with scholars from diverse backgrounds.
Answer: B. By interpreting historical events from multiple perspectives.
Dr. Reed, I believe that interpreting historical events from multiple perspectives, option B, is essential. It's not just about finding sources from marginalized groups, but also about understanding how different groups experienced and were affected by events differently.
That's a great approach, Sarah. History isn't a single narrative. It's a tapestry of stories, each with its own viewpoint. By considering multiple perspectives, we get a fuller, richer understanding of the past.
And it also helps to counteract the traditional narratives that have often excluded or misrepresented these voices.
Exactly. This approach not only broadens our understanding, but also brings a more accurate and inclusive picture of history to light.
They discussed various examples of how interpreting history from multiple perspectives had led to more comprehensive and nuanced understandings of the past. Dr. Reed emphasized the importance of being thorough and meticulous in research to uncover these often overlooked viewpoints.
Dr. Reed, one thing I've been thinking about a lot is how we present our findings to the public. It's one thing to write academic papers, but how do we make history engaging and accessible without sacrificing its complexity? Question: Dr. Reed, how do you think we can make history engaging and accessible without simplifying it too much? A. By using storytelling techniques to bring history to life. B. By connecting historical events to current issues. C. By creating interactive and immersive experiences.
Answer: A. By using storytelling techniques to bring history to life.
Dr. Reed, I think using storytelling techniques, option A, is a powerful way to make history resonate with people. When we can tell history as a compelling story, it becomes more relatable and memorable, even for those who aren't historians.
I couldn't agree more, Sarah. At its core, history is about stories. Stories of people, places, and events. When we present history in a way that feels like a narrative, we draw people in and make them care about the past.
And when people care, they're more likely to see the relevance of history in their own lives and in the world around them.
Exactly. It's about making that connection between the past and the present, showing that history isn't just about what happened long ago, but about understanding who we are today.
They explored different methods of bringing history to life through storytelling, from writing engaging historical narratives to using multimedia tools that can capture the imagination of a broader audience. Both agreed that making history accessible was not about simplifying it, but about making it relatable and engaging.
Sarah, after everything we've discussed, what do you think is the most important mindset we should have as historians to ensure our work remains impactful and relevant?
I think the key is to stay curious and open-minded. History is always revealing new insights, and if we're willing to question our assumptions and explore new ideas, we'll continue to contribute meaningful work to the field.
That's an excellent point, Sarah. Curiosity is what drives us to dig deeper, to uncover the stories that haven't been told yet, and being open-minded allows us to see the past in new ways, which is crucial for keeping history relevant.
As the conversation wrapped up, both Dr. Reed and Sarah felt invigorated by their discussion. They knew that by focusing on objectivity, inclusivity, engaging storytelling, and a mindset of curiosity, they could continue to make significant contributions to the field of history. As the evening settled over the campus, Dr. Reed and Sarah left the study with a shared sense of purpose, ready to delve even deeper into the past, driven by the understanding that history, when done right, is not just a record of what has been, but a guide for what is to come. Here are 5 key concepts related to the theme of weight of history.
Objectivity, striving to present history without letting personal biases influence interpretations. Multiple perspectives, ensuring that history is understood from various viewpoints, particularly those of marginalized groups.
Engaging storytelling, using narrative techniques to make history relatable and compelling to a broader audience. Inclusivity, actively seeking to include and represent voices that have historically been overlooked or silenced.
Curiosity, maintaining a mindset of openness and inquiry to continue discovering and understanding new aspects of history.